How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the big thing. It is the Acolyte Season 1, Episode 4. It is the spoiler discussion here on the show. It's myself. It is Steph Sabra. It's Mike Kalinowski. And we are ready to talk about this show. This show has been in the geeky zeitgeist, divisive to say the least. How do we feel about this one? Last week's episode set the internet on fire. Is this one going to? Are people going to stick around with it? Are people satisfied with it? Did it turn itself around? We will discuss everything that has to do with this episode, this show today. So, if you are brand new to this show and you've never been here before, please do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. We're looking to try to get to 200,000 subscribers. So show a little class. Hit that button. You can do it. Why? It's free. That's all you got. So, and people who don't like long intros, stick it up your rear ends. That's what I got to say. So this is the show. Here we go. Now you know. Me, Steph, Mike. Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the big thing. Coming to you live. Not really. Pre-taped. From New York. From California, it is the big thing. Myself, Steph Sabra, Mike Kalinowski. We got it. It's our first show. See, I told you guys we were going to still do shows together. Steph, how are you?
Good. I know. I'm glad that you're actually still talking to us when you're across the country.
I know I was going to cut Mike, but I figured I can't.
Right.
I've known him too long.
Shut your mouth.
How are you, Mike? What's going on?
I'm fine.
Oh, good.
I'm fine.
You
Look
sound
at
good.
You made it. You moved in. You're all set.
I love the background.
Looks good, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take credit for it, Steph. You know why?
Okay.
Because I didn't do it. That was all my wife.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who's over your left shoulder?
My left. You mean in the with the microphone?
No, I know.
What?
That's your right shoulder. Your left shoulder.
Oh, my left shoulder over here.
Yeah. Who's this guy?
It's William Wallace.
No, above him.
George Carlin. Come on, show a little class, will you?
He had that much hair?
Oh yeah, man. That was during Saturday Night Live when he hosted Saturday Night Live. So yeah, we did the decoration of it. Everything's kind of moving now. It's really nice. I'm telling you, listen, Steph, you're gonna love this. So last night, they said there's gonna be a heat wave here, but even like the heat, there's so many trees here that it's like this nice breeze. So I'm walking the dog last night, and it was like something out of a old school Disney animated film. I'm walking the dog, and I've totally forgot about fireflies. I haven't seen a firefly in like 25, 30 years. So I walk, and these fireflies start going. I'm like, whoa! I'm like a 6-year-old looking fireflies. And then there's this huge green grassy field where I'm walking the dog by, and I swear to you, I look over. There's 12 bunnies and 6 birds running together, like.
Oh my God.
Not chasing one another.
You're Snow White.
I was waiting for Snow White to come out. I was like, what is happening? And I was like, I really could not believe it. And this morning I'm having a conversation with the bagel owner. I'm supposed to be here.
This is very New York, everything with the bagel owner.
Everything.
The bagel owner?
The bagel store owner. I was talking to him this morning.
Got a corner bagel store?
Oh, they have a ton of, dude, Roke asked me the other day, he's like, well, now what are the best pizza places in Los Angeles? And I said, well, I can tell you 6 probably total in all of Los Angeles. There are literally 6 in walking distance from where I am right now. And
do you have a fear of getting chubby?
Yes. And my heart exploding.
Bagels?
And my heart exploding.
And when you order bagels, do you have to say schmear there?
No. You just
good.
say onion bagel with light cream cheese, onion bagel with cream cheese, onion bagel with Vivian, my oldest, is like already, she's like, I want what I had the other day. So good. I was like, yeah, they're loving it, and then everything's good. So we're back in New York, we're doing it. Doesn't take away from the fact that the show's just not that great, guys.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you like this episode, Steph?
Okay, here's what I'll say.
Go for it.
I liked how it looked.
Okay.
I am having such a hard time not like throwing my hands into my forehead every 5 minutes on certain choices and things that the characters are doing.
Yep.
And then right when I was like, okay, let's go, credits.
Yeah.
And And then I looked and it was 30 minutes. It was a 30-minute episode, and I think that it would have been smarter just for how the show's going. I don't know if they could have known how it would have been received if they dropped 2 episodes, because I feel like it is just catching its momentum. I did like it better. I do think the pace is better. There was more interesting things happening, but I'm still finding myself, I'm character first. That's all movies, shows I watch. I'm there for the characters and the dialogue between them. I think that there was some Yord actually is coming around for me. I actually like him.
Speak for yourself.
I like him better than other people right now. But yeah, there was still parts where it was like face palm every 30 seconds.
Mike, you hated this. Why?
I didn't hate it. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Like, I went on, yesterday online, and there's certain Star Wars sites that I like to follow. And yesterday morning, guys, I've seen episode 4. Prepare to have your minds blown tonight.
On what show? On what show?
What's up?
On what show?
A guy that had 250,000 followers in Star Wars. I watched the episode. What did I miss?
Right. I was asking you on what show were they talking about?
Your mind last night, Star Wars fans that are the hardcore Star Wars fans. What about that episode blew our Star Wars minds? It was a half hour of it. It was like Lord of the Rings light. All right, we're gonna trek through the woods in a line. Like, we'll talk about something later in this, and I know we talk about it. And if you're gonna say something in a trailer that sets the whole tone for the show, we're gonna watch the episode. We're gonna see the show unfold and go, okay, let's see how they deal with this. And that's how they dealt with it. And I was like, you doubled down on it.
Yeah.
Of it not making sense.
Well, I mean, that was the thing, is I still don't really understand why all the Jedi went into hiding. I still don't understand why receding hairline, bad old makeup did the poison. I still don't understand why the Wookiee went into hiding. And it could be explained. It just hasn't really been yet of why they all went into hiding. Those 4 or those 3 in particular, because Sol didn't go into hiding. He's out and just running around and part of the council. So what happened? Are we going to find out? Maybe we will. The 30 minutes normally bothers me. It didn't as much because they told the story they were going to, but as I was doing the reaction itself, is the thing that got me was this is just, they're setting it up for predicting the witch being the Sith Lord, which would be so stupid if they do that, or setting it up that the bumbling sidekick hung in the tree is actually that he's the actual Sith. Either way, don't do that. There's so many predictable choices in this, and people. I saw a couple comments going, every time Kristian says CW meets young adult, he never really explains it, and I don't understand what he means. And it's like, how do you not know what I mean? When you look at this show and you look at the tone, there's this one thing with Daphne Keene, and she shows up and she says something about the Wookiee or something, the dialogue and the way that it plays, and this kind of the 2 of them sitting in the on the ship together having this conversation, and it just plays like this young adult feel that you would see on the CW network when it was in its prime. It was like that kind of tone. And then there's other times where they're going, like, you see the Wookiee kind of slit open or with the lightsaber thing, and it's like, okay, that's a dark moment. Why aren't we sticking with that type of tone? But it's these moments of like, okay, she knows that she has to go. She decided a while ago that once she saw her sister that she was going to turn good. And then now she doesn't have the interest to help out the Sith Lord anymore. So I'm going to still walk into the cabin, and here I am. I see the dead Wookiee, and now here's everybody who's coming to hunt me. And instead of saying, hey, I got set up here, they already killed it. They already killed the Wookiee. I'm just going to pretend and not say anything at all and just sit in the cabin, and you guys can... oh, wait, no, there's the other witch Sith Lord. Go fight her now. And it's like, it just plays kind of predictable and dull.
Yeah, I'm having such a hard time not nitpicking everything. It's just every choice, I think, I see what they were trying to do. I just don't like the execution. Even with the first one, we meet the Badger tracker, I was like, what was the point of that? And then Harry said, he's obviously going to do something later. And I was like, yeah, but... and then we see him do something later, but the way he was introduced was just so meh.
Yeah.
And then we see the Wookiee. We are introduced to the Wookiee in the beginning, and then we just see him dead. And I was like, so what's the point of showing us that scene? I don't know. I'm just like questioning everything.
It's not nitpicky. It's one of these things of like, why you're asking the questions because you're not locked into it. You're not invested enough into it, and it's not like, okay, because I said every time now when I talk to people about this show, and I was like, you said it yourself, Steph, last week. They're aiming right at you particular.
Yeah.
And they missed you by a mile.
I know. I'm so upset for women in POC in Star Wars because I don't think it has anything to do with diversity. I really don't. I just think the story is bad it's not, there's a poor execution. And also there's some questions with the lore too, which is disappointing that someone who seems like a fan of Star Wars is kind of mingling with the easy lore part of it all.
Right.
And so I'm just I'm just worried about the future of Star Wars and what they're going to do from here.
Well, I mean, I think it's a longer conversation that we could probably have after we go through the show itself. Is that where do you go from this? Because you're going to Skeleton Crew next, and will Skeleton Crew be something different? Will it add and change the tone in the way that Mike brings up the Marvel stuff all the time, where Deadpool can be a hit for them, but it's not about just Deadpool. They got to have Captain America hit. They got to have Thunderbolts hit. They got to have people hit to get back to that place. And Star Wars is in even worse shape than they've got to figure out more so of what they're going to do to just tell what story do they want to tell? Where is it going to go? How do you get everybody back on board with it? Because, this isn't just about people screaming and yelling to hate things anymore. This is a lot of people who normally like the Star Wars stuff ain't liking this show. Go ahead, Mike.
This was the first episode. Steph, you just kind of said it for me. This was the first episode of a Star Wars show where I've seen that a lot of the, we talked last time about there's the two camps on the far sides, and then there's in the middle, where I was kind of like, I see some things now. Like the one scene we talk about, like Basil, that tracker character. The line of dialogue was like, oh, who is he, they? Are they? But it's like, just say, who are they? Are they with us? Like, say they had to make, and it stood out. And you're just like, so when people talk about, and I get it, they're both sides and one's louder than the other, but when the writing is on the nose like that, like, oh, is he, they with us? And it's just like, just say they. Are they with us? And like, oh, that's the tracker. So it was like so on the nose. It's just like,
yeah, it was on the nose. Yeah,
you don't need that. The audience is smart enough. We got it.
Yeah, it was on the nose, and it's also one of those things. Is why give people ammo?
Right.
It's because you can still
add to the story.
No, you can do it. You can do it in a way that it makes it. It's not like it's basically to do it to say, hey, look what we just did. And
exactly. And I think I finally saw some of the side of the Star Wars fandom that are like, stop doing this. Stop shoveling it. And I was like, it's right. It was so blatant. Like, be smarter than that.
Right.
If you're going to write it and you're going to do it, be smarter.
Yeah. You just said it right. You do it, but do it smarter. Don't take a bat and go, ooh, how you like that?
It's always been political and everything.
Right.
It's always been there.
Right. But it's
been smart.
It's almost like I felt like after they said it, that because I think it was Amanda that said it, that she was going to look at the camera and go, huh? And it was like, because it was just like, where'd that come from? It's like,
right.
So
it stands out.
Yeah. I don't know. Steph, did you feel the same there? Or did you say it did not?
I did think it definitely gave me pause where it felt, I think they could have just said they, and that character could have just been they, and that could have been the rest of it.
Right.
But it was definitely to make a point, and I think that a lot of what I can't empathize with is the pitchforks and being like, stop like forcing these, because I really don't think these writers are sitting down being like, let's force an agenda. I think they are putting forward the best story that they want to put forward. But then there's those moments where I do think it is like, well, we are allies, so let's show it. And as opposed to just like letting it flow.
Let it flow. Yeah, let it flow.
A better way to and just prime example is, I think if they executed the story differently, everyone would have been like, I love this cast.
Right.
I love, like,
Yeah.
you know, I think it would have shut down a lot of the haters that are like, see, go broke, because these are great actors if you see them in other things.
It would make those voices loud, but the minority, because they, you know, but the problem is that
Right.
you have so many people who just don't like the show that it's like, yeah, see,
It's the easiest thing to pick too.
You gave fuel to the fire.
You're giving fuel to the fire because you're not making a good show. If you make like a really, I mean, and I think Roka or one of the audience members brought it up the other day on the show, is that you forget on Andor, a lesbian couple, and it's just
there was,
yeah, and it's just who they are. Just who they are.
It's just existing in the world.
Just who they are. And it's one of these, because like you said, Mike, it's like you didn't remember because it was just, you know, it's just who they are. And it was one of those things where I think that the story itself did that hurt the actual story? No. But as Steph said, and as Mike said, you just kind of go give pause and go, oh. Right.
And again, when you're creating a world, and again, I could care less if there's fire in space.
Could not care less. Because if you could care less,
not care less.
Right, because if you could care less, you could sit in the corner and care less and then come back.
I could not care less that there's fire in space.
Right.
I don't care.
There's always fire in space.
Don't take me out of the story.
Right.
Don't make me go, what? Yeah. Okay, where were we again? Like,
right.
Just invest me.
So what I'd like to do here is go through a couple things in the actual show itself when you start. And when we do, this is what happens. All right, so we start and we go to Kofar, which I was curious why we didn't go to Kashyyyk, and then I thought about it, and I was like, well, Chewbacca's, 300 years old or whatever. Mike, how old is Chewbacca?
Oh, don't start with.
Oh, come on, that. You wouldn't know that? I thought you would know.
Well, okay, so in Solo he was like 87. So
is that true?
I think so. Yeah, or 100. Yeah, he's like, oh, you look great for 87.
Oh,
I think that's the line in the movie.
All right, so maybe he wasn't alive yet. Okay, well, either way, I thought they were going to go to Kashyyyk.
No, I don't think he's alive yet.
All right, take it easy. So they go to Kofar, and you see, the Wookiee. He's doing his thing in his little shed, and he's he's making chicken soup. And then you go to Coruscant, and once we get to Coruscant, there's more of the training. It looks very clean. This is where we see this. I want to know more about this red beard guy. I like this guy. This
Ginger McJedi.
Yeah, he's great. He's kind of like hard nosed and he's got like a Game of Thrones kind of character. Like, what's his?
He's from The Witcher.
Oh, is he?
Oh.
Yeah. I really like that actor. I was excited to see him. I liked that scene.
I did like that scene. I liked it because I want to see what's happening with this guy. Like, who is he? Like, are they going to do a little bit more with him? Because he's definitely a little bit more stern. He had a more kind of like the Game of Thrones kind of feel to him. And then he's training, and there's Daphne Keane, and so. And then have you turned a little bit more on Osha, or you're still kind of like Osha stinks, Steph? You're not.
I hate her.
Yeah.
I really, when she's like, if I can't do it, can you make sure you take my sister down? It's just the most treasonous, untwin BS ever. Like, it really, I haven't been this upset about a character in a long time.
Why are we? And also, why is she asking Yord? I know she's known Yord forever. Why not ask Daphne Keane?
Or Soul? I guess Soul wants to keep her, but like, it just is. You don't, in all of these years, question. Maybe she didn't explode an entire rock cave by burning a single book.
Right.
Why is she going after it just like there is. Even if she thinks that, there would be room at least 2% for questioning. And that 2% would be enough not to want to take your sister down and not forgive her.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions like that I don't know with 4 episodes in the can already, with 4 episodes left or whatever it is, with 35, 40-minute episodes in general. With all of these questions of why did, receding hairline, old age, bad makeup, why did he take the potion? Why did the Wookiee run away? What happened here with the fire? Are they going to answer all of these questions in the course of 4 episodes? Go ahead, Mike.
Right.
Do we know why May is killing the Jedi?
No.
No, we don't. That's another question.
What the fuck?
Whoa,
Sorry.
Easy.
What are we doing, people?
Yeah, we still don't know yet because
you guys are saying these things. I'm like, wait a minute.
But
she burned the stone temple down with the fire.
Right.
She killed the Jedi or killed everyone in the temple. Why is she killing the Jedi?
Well, I think it seems
that doesn't make. We're halfway through. We should know something by now.
What it seems like in the conversation that she had, it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like they were like, okay, she thought the whole reason she was off and the Sith was able to get her to do this was because she thought the Jedi actually stole her sister and then her sister died. Or her sister was gone because, or maybe died in the fire. I don't know. Because the whole reason she just says, no, I don't want to do this anymore, is because she found out that Osha is indeed alive now. So then she just stopped, as opposed to, and I also don't really understand why she didn't, after she saw Osha in the first place, go, oh, Osha's alive, I'm not going to do this again. It's like she...
Right. I have so many questions like that where, first of all, my first instinct is to question why I'm rooting for May to kill Jedi. Second off, my question is, all of these characters keep flipping like their entire view of life and belief system within minutes. And I know that obviously it had to happen in the course of time, and maybe she was setting up Chimere the entire time, and she kind of said that. But I there's so many questions like that. Like, Chimere knows Master Soul's name. I don't think Soul gave his name up. Why is Soul the only one that's like still living in peace and not in hiding? He's all the way out in the open.
Right. So that's what I mean. There's a lot of questions, and Roka brought this up on Monday, and I'm still gonna say he's not wrong that you still have 4 episodes left to say, okay, all those questions that we had were answered.
It's true.
I am doubtful because of what I said, where you have 35 to 40-minute episodes, 4 episodes left, and a lot of questions every episode keep popping up. And, we'll go into the whole who we think the Sith is again in just a second here, but it takes a lot of energy right now to even try to figure out how to get through it. And thank God I have AG1. I had AG1, and then I balance it all out. I got Rocket Money, and thank God for both of them. So let me tell you real quick about AG1 and Rocket Money. Here you go. I've told you about Rocket Money, guys, and the reason why for Rocket Money was so important is that I for a long time, I used to do these things where I'd be on my phone and I'd start searching for these apps. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll sign up. Oh, for free? Yeah, it's free for now, but then it's going to be $20, $30 a month, and you forgot that you're even paying it. And I was like, oh, well, this Rocket Money lets you know about what subscriptions that you have that you're not paying attention to. It can cancel subscriptions for you. It really is amazing, and it just cuts so much time out of my schedule, and I love it because you don't even know how much you're paying in subscriptions, and you're probably paying way more than you think, because over 74% of people have subscriptions they've forgotten about, and I definitely did that. I can tell you that right now. Like, there was a couple. I'm telling you, some of these apps, I tried some of these apps, and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot all about it. You think you spend around $62 per month on subscription, something like that, but it's close to about 300. It goes about 300 a month, because Rocket Money is also, it's a personal finance app, and it cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors all of your spending, and it helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Because I got full control over my subscriptions, I have a clear view of my expenses. It helped tremendously on this move, and you don't want to waste money. So it's got over 5 million users, and they say from what they said, the average people, I think overall, everyone that's using it, 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Wow. It saves about $740 a year. It's great. So stop wasting money on things that you don't use. You just cancel your unwanted subscriptions. You go to rocketmoney.com/thing, rocketmoney.com/thing. Very easy, rocketmoney.com. And I got to tell you about AG1. You guys know AG1. I mean, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know that I love AG1. And people keep asking me. They notice. John even said when I started, new look, 20 pounds I lost. One of those reasons, AG1 became part of my routine. Because for a long time, I wasn't paying attention to what was going on in my body. It just wasn't. For me, I read labels. I verify that everything is up to the quality I need. And that is why I've stayed with AG1 for as long as I have. It is a research-backed foundational nutrition supplement. And it delivers daily nutrients, gut health support, and is backed by multiple research studies, so you can trust what you're putting into your body. Because I like coffee. I used to drink so much coffee to keep up, but I don't need it anymore, not as much. because after drinking AG1, I have realized that I have all this energy and I need less coffee to power my day. It turns out I'm not alone, because in a research study, 91% of people noticed they needed less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. 97% of people in a research study felt more energy after 30 days of drinking AG1. That's crazy. 91% of participants noticed that they need less coffee after 60 days of drinking AG1. That's me. Energy is a majorly important reason why it comes to I need so much energy for parenting. I can tell you that right now. AG1 contains ingredients to sustain energy so you can be the best version of yourself within each day. And it really has worked for me, and it's helped me on the plane, everything. It's easy, it's satisfying to start your journey with AG1. If you go to AG1 and you can get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase, you got to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. It's the one product I trust to support my whole body health. It's AG1. All right, thank you to our friends over at AG1 Rocket Money. As I tell you guys each and every week, and I've explained the whole breakdown on how the sponsors work here. So when you click on those links, when you browse around, when you look at it, when you get something for yourself, it helps you out, it helps the show out, and that's why we're able to do more of these. All right, as we continue to move on here is the next scene. Okay, so we have this conversation with Daphne Keene, and what's Daphne Keene's character's name? Does anyone know?
Jackie.
Jackie? Like Jackie Brown?
Jackie Long. Yeah.
Jackie Chan?
Jackie? Okay.
Yeah.
You think so, or you know?
I know.
Okay. Jackie. So Jackie and Osha are talking, and I do like Daphne Keene's character a lot. I do.
I do.
She's one of my favorites. Saul's my favorite. She's second for me. They have this conversation, and I think Steph said it up top, and what I will agree with is I like the locations. I like the ship looked pretty cool with it almost like that TIE fighter kind of type design that they show up to when they first arrive on the planet. Both May and what's Manny's character's name? I don't know, and I don't remember.
Hymir.
I don't know how you remember all these characters' names because they're so forgettable to me as far as the character names. But then they have they land there. But I'll say the locations, the music, even though I wish there were some familiar themes in there, those are some of the positives thus far. But they show up to this planet, and then they park. I always wonder why they park so far away from where they need to go. But go ahead, Mike.
No, that's my same thing. And then I know people are like, well, the tracker had to get on the ground to track it. Well, throw him down there with the Jedi and say, hey, when you get there, let us know and we'll fly on in.
Right. Give us the
park this thing 100 miles away. Then they're doing Lord of the Rings, tracking through and I get Lord of the Rings. Why didn't you fly there? They just had the Eagles. I get it. But here you had a starship.
Yeah.
Hover over the ground.
Yeah. Give us the exact coordinates, would you please, Bot? That's why we pay you the money.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
These episodes, I'm like, Christ.
Yeah, it is. It really it's just detail. It's just detail. Like when you go, Steph, did you watch House of the Dragon?
No.
Okay, but like I know that you're not like the biggest fan of the show, but like
it's excellent. It's too heartbreaking.
I understand. This last episode would smash your heart into 1,000 pieces. But the detail in that show.
Yeah, it's excellent.
It's excellent. The detail in that show, the detail that I'm watching in Dark Matter right now, it's like detail. Just put detail in it. There's no detail in this show. Like Mike's nitpicky. We know that, but I think he's spot on the money here. It's like you have this advanced technology. Put the droid in the forest and tell us where to go. Don't make us walk. If we want to do that, we'll go to the gym. So, yeah. Anyway, so they go and. They have all their bags. They talk about it. There's a little bit more where it seems like there's a possibility that the witch and Manny are working together, or Manny could be the Sith Lord doing the Kaiser Soze. Who knows? Or
he could be the Acolyte.
Right. And then there's this, and the other thing that is, I think that I'm bored with is how gosh darn freaking dull the Jedi are. You get this scene where they're standing around and they're talking about like, she might be, who is this? Oh, wait, she's got an apprentice. A master and an apprentice. An apprentice doesn't know the master. And what is happening? And it's like, holy moly.
That's what no sex will do to you. But I What is also bugging me is I've seen comments that are like, you don't understand that they're trying to describe how the Jedi, the start of the folly of the Jedi, and I do understand that that's what they're trying to do. What I don't agree with is the fact that we got that in the prequels. This is 100 years before.
Yes.
I don't think that they have to start like this. I
Right.
think that they could have been cool at this point.
Exactly.
Everything with the blinding of the Jedi was in Phantom Menace. The hubris.
Yes.
They were not going to train this
We
kid.
did this already.
We're not rescuing slaves. We're not there for this. And it showed their downfall, which was the start of this. This should have been them at their prime. Like, we are badass. We know what we're doing.
Right. And you make it. Like, there's no likable Jedi minus like Saul. I don't
even like him.
I like him.
I like Jackie. She's Jackie, right?
Well, yeah, those two.
I like her.
Those two. But there's no. I mean, and we'll see what the red-haired barbarian's going to do.
I'm going to say this. Jackie to me reminds me of when we first met Ahsoka.
Right.
The young, kind of spunky Jedi. So I'm just like, it's these, and I guess I know Star Wars is littered with tropes. I know that, but you got to chart new stuff sometimes. Like,
yeah, no, it's repeated. We've seen this already. We've seen them sitting around the thing going, oh, I don't know. It's like you're supposed to be the Jedi, and it's like, oh, and it's like and then people were so excited for this High Republic Jedi who I don't know her name either. You remember her name, Steph?
I don't like her.
The green
Vanestra?
one? Vanestra.
The green lady?
Yeah, Vanestra. Dull.
I'm going to say this.
So
I don't know
dull.
The writing or what, but and I'll never, and all the shows we've ever done, I will never say I don't like a character based on the actor, because I get actors make choices and but I don't know if it's the acting with her or the character, but that is the one character I do not like with passion on this show.
It's the conversation. It's so one note,
because apparently she was on some other show and everyone says she's really good, but this show, it's like she's playing a Jedi, like what she thinks in her mind of what a Jedi is. The stoic, I'm going to talk softly and and it's like you're playing what you've seen Jedi be in the past. You need to create your own thing.
And it's another Jedi that it's just like, this is one of the Master Jedi. It's like right over her head on everything that's going on, and she has this conversation with Saul and it's just this whole conversation it should be like, give me something about why people love her so much in the book. Show me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, next scene, please. I don't care about this scene now. And I'm like, there's Saul, and I like, and he is my favorite character. I'm like, and this scene, I care, I guess, because of Saul. And then I'm like, yeah, all right, now go to the woods. And so we just, we get past it. There's more conversations. They have this long kind of thing that they're talking about. And you don't really get that she's as respected as they want her to be. But then we go back to the planet, and there's more of the conversation. This, by the way, there was one moment as May and give me Manny's name again. I forgot it again.
A chimere.
Sure. And they're walking through the forest, and he has one thing of he asks her something. And he says something along the lines of like, so tell me about that Jedi, so it's interesting that the Jedi did this. And then he just stops and goes, all right, anyway, let's move along. And it's like, all right, sure, show me some of the exposition. Yeah, show me that. And then it's just like, it's so weirdly paced in how they do it when they're walking through the woods. And it's he's involved in this thing somehow, right? Somehow. So go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, I definitely think there's more to his character, because the definition of acolyte, right, is like a religious celibate follower trying to see through whatever their path is. So I feel like he could be that. But I also think that there is a chance that he could be the one in the mask, but there is something more to that character, or else why are you so invested?
Yeah, the only thing that I would prefer, I mean, if you're going to do it, then you make him the acolyte, and I think you're right, because if you're going to make him the Sith Lord, then why does he get himself caught up in the trap? It's like, let me just swing in the trap. Oh, you got me. Not really. I'll show you later. He's laying around in the tree, and it's like silly. If he put himself if he got caught in the tree, whatever it might be, all right. But then it just opens itself up to the thing that I'm really not looking forward to, which is going to be the big reveal of the witch. The mother witch, because it just we can go there now. If you go back to that episode in episode 3, the whole episode, you have the Zabrak witch who is just not on board with the Jedi, is very stern, has the beliefs, whatever it might be, and has been just adamant that of what she has done to, help bring these twins into it. So you never see her die. They don't even give you they show the other mother laying Jodie Turner-Smith.
Yeah.
And they show her laying on the floor. They show Osha very upset about it. And they show her body, okay? Now, could she also be the witch? I mean, the Sith? I mean, maybe. Also wouldn't love that. But chances are maybe not because you see her body. The other Zabrak, they never even pay attention to. They don't show a rock fall on her. They don't show anything. And they showed so much time of her, of showing, giving her kind of depth of or her problems. So the idea that whether she feels that the Sith magic, she studied Sith, whatever it could be, or God forbid that she's the one who brings the Sith back and then taking away the whole Bane lore would drive people bananas. But it's setting it up that it's going to be her. And even when you look at the body type, when they show her later, and then she or the Sith goes face to face with Osha, and doesn't do anything, it's setting it up like this stinks.
I think it's Mother Anasaya.
Okay.
Do you?
But the only question that I have, I know that if you see the body, that means that's a confirmation. I don't think this show's following. I don't know. I think that could be a fake out. What would confuse me though, the only reason I have question to that is if she is indeed the Sith Lord or whatever we want to call her, then I would be confused as to why she hasn't made herself known to May. Because that would be weird. So you've been training your daughter this whole time and haven't been like, I'm your mom.
Unless you think that, or unless you're planning it out, like that's what's going to happen. They're going to find each other, and then the deal is to turn them both and get them both working together, because they have this special purpose, and she knows that they do. It's just such a like wet fart of a reveal. It really is. It's like, come on, what are we doing? Like the whole thing, you kind of set it up. We're going to get the Sith lore. We're going to get all this. And then you're making your own kind of adventure of these two twins. And it's like, what are we doing? I don't know. It's like, but that's me saying that it's already happened. Where they could slap me right in the face, and I would be happy to get slapped.
I'd like to see that.
Me too. If they say, hey, guess what, dummy? She did die. And what happens is this Sith has been the whole time playing them, watching them, and the Sith took out all the witches. The Zabrak fought the Sith, lost, died, and we see it in another flashback. And here is this Sith who's just been playing it. We don't know who this Sith is. Reveal the face. Who the hell is that? Well, let me tell you. And you show you like that to me. I'm like going, okay. Then now I'm invested because I don't know who that is. Don't set me up like, oh, it's either this or either that. And this isn't a murder mystery anymore, by the way. Like we know who did it. It's either the Sith, or we knew, and the twins did some of the stuff. And like, what's the mystery? There's no mystery.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. So as we,
I feel like there could be something cool if it is a character we've seen before. I don't know, maybe in Dara, because I feel like I still can't get over showing Carrie-Anne Moss as the face of the franchise and then having her in 2 episodes as a throwaway character that's killed by a 2-inch knife.
So I like that though. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if I'd hate. I don't know if I'd hate that.
Then you got
to explain why.
Go through all that and explain why.
You got to explain why. You're not wrong.
You have to explain why, but yes. I think that could be cool.
Yeah, I like that choice, I think, the best, because if it's a Jedi who's been studying, and a Jedi that got infiltrated, and a Jedi who set up all this stuff and who wanted to recruit these twins, because now if it is Carrie-Anne Moss, because then it makes more sense of like, hey, you know the rules, Jedi, get the kids. Come on, bring them over. And because the Sith wanted to train these kids the whole way through and to set it up, okay, then give me a little bit more there, and because the Sith would infiltrate the Jedi and start to corrode it from the inside, and recruiting Carrie-Anne Moss when she was younger or whatever it might be. Okay, all right, they'll set me up, but I don't know. Do you think that's a possibility, Mike?
I think that would be the best choice.
Right.
Like, this probably sounds stupid as hell. In no world is this Palpatine, right?
No, it can't be. He's not alive yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not cloned. We didn't clone him. He's not.
Not at this time.
Okay.
Now there is a shot that it could be. I think it's beyond doubtful, but if depending on what species you made Plagueis, could be.
Okay.
Depending on what
Let me ask
species you
this.
make him.
So the obvious ones are Zabrek
Yep.
and Isaiah, mother,
Mm-hmm.
and Carrie-Ann Moss.
And Manny.
I'm gonna tell you. Oh yeah, he's the one I think probably is. But if they do the mother,
The Zabrak or Jodie Turner Smith?
and Isaiah, how did they fit that helmet on her? With that,
You mean
hair?
the Zabrak? You said that already.
No, the mother.
Oh, okay.
No, I feel like she would have cut her hair.
Yeah, just shaved her head. I mean, come on,
Okay,
that's
I don't
easy.
know about this.
She's had I mean, I could totally understand a complete
But wait.
transformation.
Yeah, you could.
No.
That's.
Oh, because it takes
you
place.
figured
Yeah,
it.
never mind.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
never
would
mind.
say for me though.
I thought it was.
Yeah, if I'm gonna
my timelines with this whole show, I can't keep up.
Yeah. Well, if I'm going to rank it, I'm going to rank who I think. I'm going to go Zabrak mom is number 1. Manny number 2. Jodie number 3. Carrie-Ann Moss number 4. Random number 5. And I'm hoping it's either 4 or 5, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be obviously one or 2. Oof.
I think it's Zabrek, even though the helmet wouldn't fit on her.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So my point is the fact that, like, if you're going to hide the character and make it believable. Like Zabrek, if it's her, which we most think it is, like that helmet doesn't fit on you. You created this cool skin tight helmet. It's not going to fit on.
It's kind of
They're
like
gonna do this-
it's kind of
they're
like
gonna
Leia in Return of the Jedi.
Let it Return of Jedi. You had no clue that was her, the way that they built the costume on her. But it reminds me of Black Widow and Taskmaster. They put a dude in a suit. You saw the literal man stunt guy the whole movie, and then they take it off and it's a girl, and they CGI her head, and it's this skinny little head and this body. It's just like, stop doing fake. If you're gonna fake us out, make it look believable, so we are invested in it.
I'm wondering. I really do wonder if I would be so happy if they take off the helmet and you're like, I have no clue who that is.
Yeah,
and then,
do it.
And then the next episode they show you who it is. Like that to me, I'm like, okay, that's sure. All right, let's get to the next scene. So then Saul reunites. To add to Steph's frustration, Osha wants to run away again. She doesn't want to be there. She's about to leave, whatever it is. And then Saul gets her to stay. And then there was one scene though. There's one line though in that scene where when it's almost like we still don't. It's another question, but where Osha goes, "Oh, you're gonna let me back into the Jedi Order?" Like she wants to come back.
Right.
And it's like, what did she do that was so
Did she
bad?
leave on her own accord?
What did she? Apparently not.
But we haven't found out.
That's another question.
I'm trying. Yeah, that's another question that has to be answered.
Yeah.
And I wish would have been answered earlier because I think it matters to the character's likability in their arc.
Yeah. Like, what did she do that was so bad that she wants to come back and they won't let her? And she's like, "Oh, so I can come back?" He's like, "I don't know." And it's like, what else does she have to do? She's been doing so much to help you guys already, and she shows that she wants to be part of it. What did she do that was so bad? Like, I don't get it.
Right.
Anyway, so there's that conversation, but he's like, "I do want you to come with us." She's like, "Oh, all right." So and then they get on the plane, and then there's this mate, and then we first meet the little muskrat, and then there's the conversation about Yord, and then that's the conversation that's about as CW as you get. And I was like, come on. The ship lands, they go through it, and there's like this whole shot of them, and I don't know what it is, what they're doing. Yeah, this is the thing that's pissed Steph off. She has the conversation with Yord, basically, hey, do me a favor, because they've been friends, I guess, beforehand, and that's why.
No, Yord was like, I'm not doing that. You should figure this out yourself.
I know, but
that's why I like Yord in this episode, because he's sick of her too. He's like, girl, go to therapy, figure this out, because this whole vendetta you have on your family is weird.
Yeah. And we don't understand. He doesn't understand why, and neither we do.
There is a reason. Maybe there's more to it.
Know. Yeah, but you got to explain that in 4 episodes in like 2 hours. So they're going through the forest, and then they just kill a bird for no reason. It comes flying through the trees.
Oh yeah, that whole scene. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah,
they're all gonna wake up. This is gonna be awesome. Oh, just one.
I thought the same exact thing. I was like, okay, this is kind of classic Star Wars. You know,
Yeah.
you have creatures that you have to fight off. So I thought it was going to be the whole forest wakes up. And then not only was it just one, they were like conveniently attracted to light.
Yeah, and they kill they kill it for no reason. And aren't the Jedi supposed to be like peaceful? Like,
That's what I thought. He's like, I have this.
You just kill it. How do you know that it was bad?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Soul is. What if Soul is the bad one?
But I mean, but look,
How?
in the idea, and the whole idea of, remember, like the everything they set up in Rebels, I mean, too, the being one with the Force and talking to animals and everything. Just like, I understand that if the things are starting to attack you, but why not try to stop it first and just slice it right in half? I was like, what if it was just coming to say what's up? You guys got any treats?
Right. But then I think that was another point where they were trying to explain the Force, and they were like, Jackie's character had cool lines, but it is different from what my understanding is with life and death and the Jedi. I did like how she was like, you know, it's an honor to become a part of the Force, but it's like, do you just kill at your will because they're going to become a part of the Force?
Right, exactly. Like, hey, you know, don't worry about it. They're in a better place. It's like, but it was literally just coming to get it. It saw I had a protein bar in my backpack. It wanted it. It was going to take it to its kids, and now it's dead.
Hey,
but it's one with the
I was hanging out humping this tree, and you got to come and touch me. Leave me alone.
I know. I was just saying, hey, guys, what's going on? It's like a puppy. And then it came to say, hey, what's
run it up?
It's like, hey, what's going on? And now you're
like, I've got this.
Yeah. Hey, guys, welcome to my planet. Oh, wait, I'm dead.
Look at me. Hey, guys.
Here I am. And now I'm dead. Sliced in half over a treat. So they go through the forest, and now, you know, once again, we go back to May having her conversation with Manny, and you get a little bit more of okay, this is when you get the conversation of, okay, this guy's definitely involved in it more. And we just go back to the forest and knowing that something's going down, and then when we go back to the reveal now, it to me seemed abrupt, where May goes, hey, I'm a good guy now, and I want to find my sister. You stay in this tree. I'll see you later. And he's like, no, don't leave me in the tree. And
did you feel like it's May and not May, May and Manny?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost getting vibes of Palpatine and Anakin and
in the third movie.
When they're sitting in the opera, like he's just playing the thing, like. And again, if this is it, it's the trope, and we've been there before again.
Yeah.
And
here we go. Yeah, it reminded me more of the Revenge of the Sith in the beginning when they go to rescue him, and he's playing like the goofy, like, oh, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Oh, and he's like, you know, running through the hallways like silly. That's what it seems like. But I would much rather it. I'm telling you, like, you could really, instead of just doing the normal tropes of make us all wrong. Make everyone wrong who thinks that it's
on its head.
Yes, everyone that thinks it's him, everyone that thinks it's the mom. Make us all wrong. Like, because if you made it just some random person, some random alien, something completely different, and it's okay to do. You don't have to follow Sid Field's book on this one. You know, you can just go completely different and make it. Whoa, where the hell did that come from? Instead, it's going to be like you said, Mike. It's like. It's no coincidence that he's like, oh no, wait, what did that Jedi do? No, and he's like throwing little things and little hints in there.
If it's the witch, she's gonna take the helmet off, but they're not gonna see her take it and go straight off. It'll be like a shot where they don't see it going over the horns, and it's gonna be like, okay, here we go.
Right.
And again, I hope we're wrong.
Me too.
It's just some random badass that infiltrated the witches and the Jedi, and he's like, you have no idea what's coming.
Right. Well, the little muskrat then sees May, May, and starts screaming and saying, "Hey, over here!" And we see the dead Wookiee, and then all hell breaks loose. She's screaming from the trees, and then the Sith shows up, and this is where, when you see, we had seen this before, and I said there's this face-to-face now with her and Osha, and if you look at the body type, you say, looks to me like this is a smaller statued person.
The Sith person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the helmet's big enough to get those horns in there. I'm just telling you. And if it comes, and then you're going to have to find out why. You're going to have to find out why that's what I am also concerned about, because once we reveal that it's, the Zabrak, then you're going to have to do another flashback episode or go, this is what really happened. This is what happened. Because if episode 5 starts out with that scene again, where now you see Sol and Osha take off and the fire and everything's burning. The second you even open with that, you're like, oh, here we go. We're getting the reveal that it's the Zabrak because, or Jodie.
Or do you think there's a possibility it could be one of the other witches?
I mean, they didn't set it up. The only reason I think so much is it's like they gave. If you watch that episode, Steph, on episode 3, and you watch how much time they give the Zabrak of her character, of the fact that she's, in the opening scene getting those kids, she is pissed and does not like the Jedi whatsoever. She is adamant about the fact that the way that she helped create the kids. She has. Looks like animosity against Jodie Turner-Smith for the fact that she wants to do these things and said enough with it. It all is pointing to her going, yeah, right, I'm burning this whole place down, and I'm going to start going the way of the Sith. And it's like, it's a wet fart. But I'll tell you what's not a wet fart. I want to tell you guys both about 2 wonderful sponsors that we have here, too. Speaking about getting excited, I'll tell you about Joy Mode. All right, guys, before we move on, I want to tell you guys about Gentle Bands. Check that out. You see that ring right there? That is Gentle Bands. And so this company reached out to me a little while ago, and they said, hey, we think that you and your audience would be perfect for us. I said, yeah, why do you think that? And then I started to take a look. And so what's so special about them is it's what Gentle Bands does. They kind of reimagine the genre of science fiction and fantasy, and they really, really pay attention to detail. In this particular ring, it's tungsten and opal, and you can see a little bit of it right here. And it has like that balance of the dark side and the light. It reminds me of like Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings. So tungsten is very dense, sturdy, and opal is like the highlight. It represents personality, style, all that stuff. And their package, the stuff that it comes with, is really great. They also offer engraving services at the moment. That's pretty great. They draw inspiration from classic science fiction films and games, and their team has developed this galactic collection, and it captures the essence of the enchanting universe and the eternal battles between dark and light. So once again, when you're taking a look at this website in general and just some of the things that they have there. And as I show you a few of the pictures here, I thought those were pretty interesting on how they actually kind of crafted this whole thing. Now, if you want to go and get one of them, you go to gentlebands.com and you can use my code KHChannel and you'll get 25% off. It's pretty amazing. You get 25% off, but you got to use that code KHChannel. It around, I really love it, and it's got it. Yeah, it just. I'm not going to lie to you. It does. I have said my precious a couple times, but here it is. Check it out. Gentle Bands, links in the description. Thanks, guys. All right, you know as well as I do. You've been standing at that gas station, you look over and you go, oh, sexual pills. I'm going to try one of those. Don't do it. They are not good over there. Not healthy. But Joy Mode is. What is Joy Mode? When you go to the gym and you take something to help you with your workout, it's the same thing with Joy Mode. It's a sexual enhancement performer, man. It's amazing, and it works. The issue is that over-the-counter pill, it contains unregulated chemicals, it suggests unsafe doses, and it includes the risk of several other health problems. That is why we are partnered with our friends over at Joy Mode. I tried it, and man, oh man, it just makes you feel good. It's that extra pep. It's not necessarily a step, but you get what I'm talking about. Whether you're looking to spice up your intimate moments or increase your confidence in the bedroom, Joy Mode makes all natural and science-backed supplements dedicated to helping men perform better across their core functions. Their trademark product, the Sexual Performance Booster, it's every man's solution for increased blood flow, firmness, stamina, and performance. It comes in a palm-sized packet like your favorite electrolyte powder. Simply mix 6 to 8 ounces of water 45 minutes before sexual activity and watch the magic unfold. Literally. Redefine your intimacy and go to usejoymode.com for 20% off with the code BIGTHING. Appropriate. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code BIGTHING at usejoymode.com. Ingredients with integrity. Joy Mode. Joy Mode all over the place, man. Especially, look, Steph, I gotta send you some of this stuff. I gotta send Mike some of this stuff. You guys are gonna lose your minds, and you're both. It's like, you know, and the first thing you think of is, we don't need it. Yeah, you do. So when you go to the gym and you use, you know, the energy packets,
pre-workout.
Oh man, I'm telling you. But let's wrap this up. Let's talk a little bit more about the end of this show.
And then I got something to say.
All right, you'll start it. Go ahead.
Well, we covered it already.
Yeah.
We didn't cover it. We passed the scene.
Sure.
So when we were watching this trailer and everything comes out.
Yeah, can you get close? Can you get closer to the camera though?
Like this?
Yeah, put your face. Try to.
I want to see the inside of your nostrils.
Yeah, try to dive exactly through the camera.
Is this better?
Much.
So we see the trailers. Half the internet goes up in arms because the Sith is there, but the Jedi line of, well, the Sith have been extinct for nearly a millennia.
Right.
But we were all like, you know what? Let's wait and see. Let the story tell. Maybe they did see the Sith, and those Jedi that saw the Sith got killed. So the Jedi Council didn't know there were Sith. You could tell the story. Mm-hmm. But what do? They put the one Jedi that says that line, that knows they're Sith,
right,
in the damn show.
Who?
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Is he in the show?
That's him.
Yeah.
Where? Where's Ki-Adi-Mundi? When?
In that scene with the Jedi, we're like, we got to go to the temple and this and this.
Oh, that was him? I didn't know it was him.
Ki-Adi-Mundi.
I didn't even know that was him.
They gave the guy that says the line.
Oh, wow.
About like, you could have put Yaddle in there. You could have put Yoda. You could have put 50 million other Jedi as a cameo in there. But you put the one character that says the line that destroys. And then today there was this uproar because apparently he was born before this or after this.
After.
And then the Wikipedia big Star Wars website was like in real time deleting it and changing it, and everyone's screenshotting it. They're like,
oh, wow.
When you've got something like, and again, this is the two camps.
Who's running this? Who's running the canon over there?
You've got Filoni out there that's now the Kevin Feige of Star Wars. He needs to go, you can't do that.
You can't do that. What happened to Pablo Hidalgo? He used to always do that kind of stuff. Like, no, well, actually.
Like, oh, you're telling the story. No, Ki-Adi-Mundi didn't do a damn thing in this episode.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Destroying, like, ew. I don't care that the Sith have been that line in Phantom Menace and we're telling a story. Cool. Show us why the Jedi don't know that they're Sith. But you put the one character that knows they're Sith.
Right.
For a cameo. Like, why are they running? Like, this was the one episode where I saw the haters that talk so much. I was like, I see where people are upset with the people in charge of Star Wars now because they're not
paying attention,
honoring what they've put before.
This is what I've been saying about even with the book stuff. They don't care about the people, the main people in charge, or they don't care enough about it, and they don't think that it really matters when it does.
There's no point of putting him in this episode.
No, there really isn't. I agree with you. I didn't even know until you said that. I didn't even know that it was because I guess I maybe didn't even think, why would they have him in there? He's not even born yet.
I thought, is it just one of the species? Because Plo Koon, his species is in that scene, but it's not him because if you see in the credits.
But he's actually in the credits as
credited Ki-Adi-Mundi. Like,
wow.
What do you like that? And again, I don't care about canon. Like, I'm not a big canon person as far as Star Wars.
But why wouldn't you though? Because like,
I know, but this was the first time I've seen as like, okay, you really don't care about what you're doing as far as storytelling.
It's like rewriting history. It's like you want us. It's like you want us to care about the history itself and the things that you're setting up. You want us to care about the history. But you don't care about the history. So why do we care about the history?
Is the main Star Wars like this where you go to get the lore?
Right.
They were changing it in real time this morning because everyone's like, nope, this breaks canon. He's not even born yet.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I'm not. Yeah. How are you locked into all this stuff? I don't.
I wake up and I go on Twitter. Yeah. But like, I loved because there's so many people in Star Wars that are so smart about it and they know all of it. So I like to get there. It's like people when a DC thing comes out, they reach out to me because they love to see like, oh, what does this character mean? What does this mean? What is this? And I like to tell people.
So you do care about the canon.
Yeah, but the Star Wars people that are so into the canon, like, and I get you need to change it to tell a great story. This is not a great story, so why are you messing with it? It doesn't. You could have put any Jedi in there other than him, and it still could have done the whole Sith were extinct for nearly a millennia, and it would have been fine. But they put him in it. Like,
it doesn't make sense. You're right.
It doesn't make
sense.
Steph,
did this bother you too?
I think that is a little negligent.
Yeah.
It's like, and because that character has like 2 lines in the movie.
But
so
yeah, it's
how do you oversee the 1 or 2 lines that he has?
Important lines. Important lines. And it does make you go, because the big thing that they were talking about throughout, the lead up to this show is how big of a fan of the lore Leslie Headland was.
Well, clearly
that questions it, doesn't it? That questions it a bit. It's like, well, not too much, or she just doesn't care.
But I was with you guys, like when they in the trailers that we were always like, well, the Jedi think the Sith are extinct, and I was like, oh, that's their hubris. We're gonna understand how they slip by them. I was like, on board up until this point. It's like, okay, tell us the story you're telling, and at the end of it, explain why they. Right. But oh no, the one guy that doesn't said it, you're putting him in there.
Can I play devil's advocate though with this? Because what if this never gets back to them? What if they don't get out of the woods? They all
die.
What if they never get out of the woods? Maybe. Okay. What if they never get out of this, and they don't get back to the council, and it just becomes I'm hunting you down now. Someone's gonna eat it, and the chances of that are slim to none. But if that happens and they don't get back to the council, if they go back to the council, then all of what we're just talking about just now is relevant and it's silly. But if they don't get back to the council and everybody starts getting picked off like 1987 Predator here, then it's like, well, wait a minute, that they wouldn't know about it because everybody's dead.
Let's 4 weeks reconvene on this point, and we'll see.
Well, I think you're going to find. I think next week, because if the predictability is as predictable as it's been going so far, you would assume that the next episode is going to be another throwback, kind of this is what really happened type episode. This is who.
You don't think it's going to pick up where we left off?
No, because I think they're going to give you the Sith. I think they're going to give you the Sith reveal right away, potentially in the beginning here. But
and you haven't seen this next episode.
I haven't seen it. No, I've only seen 1 through 4. I think that when you get to 5, you start off but it's not going to be like, hey, here's the Sith. It's going to be like, this is the episode where you're going to find out who it is. But
then they have to go back to where we left off of this episode.
Yes. Yeah. After that.
Because that would be crazy.
But that's what I mean. So they're going to give you the reveal to it, and then episode 6 is going to be the continuation. Then you get 7 and 8.
So going off of your playing devil's advocate, let's say the Sith wipe out everyone in this mission. They're done.
Yeah. Which I don't think is going to happen, by the way. I don't think.
But we're in the Jedi Council and go, holy crap, we lost a battalion of Jedi. We need to go investigate, which brings you into a whole other thing.
Right.
And then it's an unexplained, we had an event that happened in our history where 20 Jedi were wiped out on this little planet. We need to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Right. I mean, that would be great if it was they slay it.
Another story.
And you take it over and you dump it on its head. Imagine if there's no world, but imagine if they killed all the characters that we just learned about. They killed them all. Okay. Except the twins, because the twins are probably taken by the Sith or whatever too. But the twins survive, and everybody else dies. Yord and the rest of the crew, they're all dead. We would. Whoa! Wait a minute. What happened there? Then you're like, all right, we're playing ball here. So now you got the Boredom Green, we'll call her, and then Kaidu Mundi. He's going to be running around. He's like, well, I don't know about anything that's happening. It can't be Sith. I'm not even going to think about the Sith. I'll talk about that in a future episode. And they're doing the investigations, but the chances of that happening are slim to none. I don't know. Look,
because if one Sith Lord or whatever the character is going to be takes out a battalion of Jedi, Jedi needed a new training program immediately.
You got. The Sith tossed all of them in this last episode. Tossed all of them easily. Qui-Gon, at least, when Darth Maul popped up, fought him and had a little bit of a tough fight with him up top with the saber, and then jumped back on the ship. But this Sith just tossed all of them with no problem. Like, how did he or she do that? How?
Right.
There's got to be an explanation. That's why I feel like there's going to be a full.
The power of many.
The power of two. The power of one. The power of all of us in me.
This is looking bad, guys. This is looking bad. Looking bad. I don't know.
How did we get here?
I'm telling you, I said this. I feel, and I know it's never going to happen. I really am. I'm trying to. Disney needs to sell Lucasfilm to Apple. It needs to sell it to Apple.
It sucks that. It doesn't suck that I say this. I like to
That's
go
interesting.
Back,
Apple.
I like to go back and think things. This makes me long for the Star Wars: The Book of Boba Fett.
Whoa!
I'm like, at least with Boba Fett. At least we're on Tatooine doing.
I don't know about that.
Star Wars. Like, I'd watch Boba Fett again before I'd watch this show again.
I'm just waiting for Andor, man. At this point, Andor. You know what? This is where we can end our conversation, because the three of us went to Celebration. Not the last one. When
22.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah,
and
2022.
We went. It was in Anaheim, and we went, and we had a good time, and we had seen, I think it was the first or two episodes of Obi-Wan, whatever it was. And we were headed back to the hotel. And outside of the hotel, we realized that John Watts was standing out there. And so we went up to him. We started talking to him about Skeleton Crew. And he seemed very authentic. He seemed very excited. He said, just because, and remember he said this to us, Mike, he said, just because there's kids in it doesn't mean it's going to be a kid's show. This is like, he said he wanted to go Stranger Things meets Goonies. And there's more and more about this Amblin feel to it. And John Watts did, and Mike and I are both big fans of The Old Man, which he directed that show, and he directed the first episode, and he of course did No Way Home and the other Spider-Man. I think that he has an opportunity to turn the Star Wars series around and going, well, there you go. That's just, to me, they did what they did with Andor had a different feel, but this is a little bit more, it's layered, it's got detail to it. Who saw this coming? Because Andor we didn't see coming. Andor, we were not excited about that show. We didn't care about that show at all. All the shows that were announced, we were like, that one we cared about the least, and it turned out to be the one that we loved the most.
But
yeah, go ahead, Mike.
But it's interesting. We talk about this turning around, and we brought up the Marvel thing. But Marvel did an active whoa, we need to stop.
Right.
What we're doing didn't work. Star Wars didn't do that.
No, they're still not doing that.
And said it out loud.
And I'll never forget this. Where Feige came out, I was like, hey, you know what? We made some mistakes. I remember there was the Everything is Awesome crew was like, I wish he didn't say that. He should celebrate what he's done. No, he's an incredible executive that realized what didn't work.
Right.
He doesn't need to pat himself on the back for creating a $2 billion franchise.
It took a shot.
$5 billion franchise. But they took a step to go, whoa, it ain't working. Let's redo what we're doing. Let's reassess. Star Wars hasn't done that. So to say that Skeleton Crew could bring us back, I'm like, that's been chugging along.
Yeah.
They're pumping out the shows. I don't think they think anything's wrong.
I don't know. I mean, the one benefit with all of the way that they do this is they don't have a plan. They've been doing this since the beginning. They're just like, hey, you director, do your thing over there in that corner. You do that in your corner. Maybe John Watts is going, hell yeah, I'm going to do my thing in the corner. I'm going to do the thing that I wanted to do. And that's what you hope for, because there's not a lot of excitement for this show thus far for a lot of different reasons. One, especially after coming off of this show, there's going to be less excitement for it.
Yeah.
But it has an opportunity to do what Andor did. Because when Andor was announced, I remember, you and I talked about it, Mike. I remember being a Collider talking about it, going, well, who needs an Andor show? We know what happens to him. He dies. And then you find out everything about the way that they're presenting it and the way that it's shot and the way that it's the detail in that show is just, the stuff that we talk about all the time with that shop, with all the old relics in the back and the political intrigue.
It goes back to the whole thing. I know recently Filoni was out there talking about, does there need to be an R-rated Star Wars show? And I think people just want that because they want to see sex, violence. But Andor was again, Star Wars at its core for kids.
Yeah. But
I don't think kids sit down and watch Andor and love it. They're but that storytelling, the script, the storytelling, the scene with, Stellan Skarsgård telling about what he's given up.
Yeah. Detail.
Again, you can have the Bad Batch for kids, and you can have the Andor for who want a little more, sauce in your Star Wars. And then there could be the Ahsoka, which is satisfying the hardcore that have been there through the beginning in every episode, and they know everything. But this show,
But I'll tell you, dude,
Not doing any of those.
I think the detail is way more in Bad Batch than it was in Ahsoka. I think the detail is than it was in Obi-Wan, than it was in this show.
And you love you love Rebels and Clone Wars. So
yeah, Rebels and Clone Wars, and so what I still haven't finished Bad Batch, but what I've seen in Bad Batch is that I can tell you about the characters in that show because they've given enough time to marinate, and you understand who they are, why they do the things that they do, and you care and you're invested. And these other shows are just not doing that. But I cross my fingers for Skeleton Crew. We will see in the future. But I ask you guys, what'd you think of this episode overall? Did you like the show? Did you not like it? Do you think there are points that you agree with, disagree with? Put all your comments in there. I want to thank the crew for being with us today. Start with Steph. Steph, where can they find you?
At Steph Sabra the World Girls.
Mike Kalinowski, how about you, my friend?
same place, at Mike Kalinowski.
Very easy. So that's it, guys. We did our first New York show together, although you guys are still in sunny California. But
right,
I tell you, this is I like the way this looks. I like the setup itself. We just got to get Mike a little bit better of a setup, but I'll do that. I'll help you out. And then that's it. So for Mike Kalinowski and Steph Sabra, thanks for joining us here today, guys. I really appreciate it. Once again, hit that button, subscribe to the channel, check out our wonderful sponsors below. I put the link in the description and always the pinned comment below. So for Mike and Steph, I'm me, you're you. See you later. Bye.